Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friends. Today I'm gonna training hunting. This hunting really is truly blood sport. I really hate it. But I just wanna show you that virtual kind of intellectual hunting. A lot of people are like bragging. I hunt this big cousin. Kind of they carry it on their back, on their shoulder, and they are spears. This proper Masai Mara kind of like this Kenyan or Rwandan people maybe these are antelopes, or shall we say gazelle, or civet. They carry them on their back, on their shoulder, show off like they are proper hunters. You know what I'm saying? I wanna train how it is. Okay, so I just wanna make it like this virtual intellectual hunting. Let me just pause it for a minute. Back again, my friends. In Tigunya we call it Balfarra, Balfarra, Balchimara, you go all your arrows and your boomerang and all your slings, in the ancient times in Eritrea, our area used to be proper forest jungle, better like this Amazonia that you got in Latin America. It was better than that, my friend. It was Arcadia, kind of really dense, with full of animals, you go all these wild animals, you go all these people in the ancient times, in the primitive society, hunter gatherers, that's how we Africans, Eritreans, Ethiopians, that's how we used to be, So all these forests and all this jungle wiped out all these Italians and all these Ethiopians. They wiped them out. Okay. So now I want to take you back to 2,300 years ago when the Ptolemaics, Macedonian brother of this Alexander the Great, came to our area. They just want to see the jungle, forests, Africa, hunt all these antelopes and all this gazelle, man. That's how life was, my friend. So you roast it in the wilderness and my friend. So you eat really tasty, my friend. I did taste this when I was a kid. I feel a bit kind of guilty. It wasn't me who killed it. It was a guy called Gurmai from. He was a chauffeur, this ship tending guy from. He's kind of a bit kind of distant relative. So he was from Adi, so he came to the shop to be chauffeured. Korea, sheep and cattle and good standing in Berhenet, our kind of related family called Ndabikesh Talaimur. His name was Grumai. So when we were kids, the guy, man, my friend, he was much older than us. So he hit this little poor antelope, man. She fell in the ground, so we roasted it. It was near this Gandhi, Maitsari, all that area in our. But anyway, so we ate it. It's really tasty, my friend. I feel a bit guilty when you go into this European kind of this Western thinking, because she's a really poor wild animal, my friend. She was just making her career and her life, just eating the grasses and all the veggies, Anyway, I want to take you back. So I think when we were kids, we used to have this chauffeur dog. He was kind of this with more striped color, red and white. Lovely dog. I was really little kid because I have this passion going to the countryside. But it's really the most beautiful thing, my friend, because our village is surrounded with all these really majestic mountains. It looks like this. God has crafted it really, with the attention detail by purpose, so it can be that a perfect beauty, my friend. It's not like these artists, all this Raphael, all this Leonardo da Vinci kind of thing, they put on their cameras on that. It's not, my friend. Okay, this is just really proper nature beauty, my friend. So you climb all the mountains, you see all this to the Resi, my friend, to this Egila. Idafile and Zula and After and Komajeret, and you see from that nowadays, my friends, we live in this technological advanced society where you buy your own binocular, my friend. You see all the ships passing by, all these oil tankers going from all the way from Hormuz in Iran, Persia, passing the Red Sea from our area. You see the, my friend. So imagine what's the name? Donald Trump or any famous, maybe CC, all these people passing by using their youths, my friend. You see them with the binocular. He say, hey, my friend, then you call them your mobile phone, like you go only GPS, global GPS, mobile phone nowadays. You don't need same kind of network operators. It's directly linked to the satellite, my friend. You just call them like, hey man, I can see you yacht, my friend. You partying, isn't it? So that's how beautiful our village is. It's really fertile. So the whole our village is surrounded by this really magnificent, majestic. I don't know what word shall I use it, my friend. Kind of like work of art. You know, when the English people when they exaggerate too much. My goodness, just work of art, man. It's really beautiful. Exquisite. So it's really beautiful, like, you know. So when I was a kid, because that's really my passion, I love the countryside. You know, it's just something inside me. I don't like all this hustle and bustle of this city. You know, it's all that kind of stuff. Like it just interrupts all your life. Like, you know, you just immerse in on this film and, you know, all this combustion of these cars and really dirty smell and all these people, junk, ghetto people, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, the countryside is just really pure, my friend. Especially when we talk about electrical. We don't have these fumes, you know, carbon dioxide fumes from cars or whatsoever. Like, you know, we were really few cars. I'm glad, my friend. Nowadays, we got all these electric cars, and usually I do tend not to use electric bicycles because I got a lot of power, my friend. I just pedal my bicycle and shoot off. Like, you know, I arrive from Adres to Asmara faster the guy who is using a motor bicycle, you know, motorcycle, psyche, motor, psyche. shall we put it that way? Or a person using an electric bicycle. I go faster than that, my friend. That's power, energy, my friend. Sunshine kind of energy, power, and you know, all this work in physics. We go all this mechanics, sort of work, you know. Work is force times this acceleration, velocity, all that kind of stuff like that. So we got so much joules, my friend. Watts, power. Okay? So when you buy all these foods, because you don't want to get fat and obese, like, you know, especially if you're a woman or that kind of, or man, that, you know, all these women, you want them fancy, so you don't eat too much protein and all that kind of stuff, like, you know, starch and energy. So you see all this kilojoule kind of thing, like, you know. So if it's into electricity and P on all that kind of stuff, power. If you're gonna be an electric car, my friend, okay. I just want to show you in physics, mechanics, okay. So you want to have a lot of joule of power. They call it watt. You know? Joule, watt, my friend, okay? So you eat good food, then my friend, you heat it. You keep pedaling, my friend. All this, they call it crank. You know, crank. You pedaling. Like, you know, that's power. That's your engine, my friend. You just keep pedaling. So you burn a lot of joules, watt. Okay, that's energy, power, okay? So I love all this mechanical bicycle pedal, bicycle, my friend, okay? I was a champion when I was a teenager, bicycle champion. So, my friend, it just kept me going until now, my friend. I'm still a teenager. Can you believe that? It's really beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, back to my story line, okay? My theme. So this is virtual hunting, okay? There was this guy bragging, like, you know, he knows how to hunt, all that kind of stuff. He just came from our area that hasn't got any animals. Now, I want to take you to Scotland, my friend. The Highlanders of Scotland, like, you know, you got all this tampering with their kilt and all that stuff, like, you know. Sorry, guys. I like all these people when you talk Gaelic, even though this is very hard to understand, you know. It's not against that, but you got people, and just trying to be smarty. All this Eritrean, my friend, all this EPLF. This Mongus Hailemariam, you know, the leader of Ethiopia, he used to call them chieftain. Really barbaric, you know, low people who try to snatch other people's property, their name, their brand, and everything. That's how they are, man. They are amoeba parasite, my friend. They cling into you, okay? They suck your blood, your emotion, your power, everything, okay? So it's like this leech. Leech is like, you know, when you go into the village life, countryside, like, you know, you take all the cattle and everything to drink in the river. So there are these really little worms called leech. When they drink the water, they get into their throat. So this little leech, they become so big and fat and obese because they suck so much blood, okay? They are worse than this amoeba parasite or that kind of stuff. So these are people called leech, called alati, okay? proper shifting, my friend. They take. So there was this guy. I think he was into this medical record in this Orota and Minister of Health in Asmara. His name was Amani, like, you know. So he was applying to this scholarship funded by the government. I think it's some kind of like donation for this Scotland government gave them to this electron, you know, government workers. So I used to help him, like, you know, hey, my friend, like, you know, you're a fighter, my friend. I don't know why these Gaelic Scottish people, I don't know why they refuse you, all kind of stuff. Like, you know, I used to email corresponding with him a lot of times. Like, his name was Amani, okay? Now I know what they are doing, my friend. They were trying to harm, kind of like, you know, they go all this, they care so much, big kind of like, what do you call this, limp. We call it Ngulle. They carry Ngulle, like, you know, and they come to London carrying Ngulle, all this limp. These are really illiterate peasant guys, like, you know, and they try to act kind of like, you know, shifting. They try to kind of like, you know, clinging to you and suck your blood and the emotion, trying. They say, hey, I'm a hunter from Africa, from Maasai. Yeah, are you a hunter? This is a super hunter, my friend. I want to train how hunting is, okay? So these people, my friend, and Eritrea, I was listening to this guy. He was one of these really key opposition figure. His name is Ande Mariam, okay? So Ande Mariam means like, you know, like this column of Madonna, Mary, column of Madonna, okay? Ande Mariam. So Ande, they try to link it in English. Andrew. You see these people like that? So you got this Prince Andrew, kind of this homosexual gay prince. I think he's kicking now. He's not prince anymore. So this guy was clinging into this old European royalty kind of thing, my friend, to suck our blood. So this guy, I don't know how he made it to Harvard University. He graduated. He hasn't got even nothing, my friend. He doesn't even know how to communicate with the old master. Like, you know. Anyway, he studied in Harvard, so he went to Eritrea. He was really key a figure of this Eritrean government. One of the key guys. He used to be an editor. Paper in his paper called what's it called? I forgot, man. So he was an editor, key guy, a guy who can write and speak English to the whole world. Okay, so they made him Fitorari. Yeah, that's the name of the paper called Fitorari during the APLA fighting in Eritrea. Like, you know, he was a key guy, my friend. A guy who can write English and, you know, distribute all this ideology about APLF to the whole world, my friend. They tell you, like, you know, they do some kind of like an ambush somewhere so that they can grab attention of the whole world. Like, you know, they say, oh, we killed this amount of soldiers, thousands of tanks, and the whole world media just goes there like 3 points. These people are the most pragmatic communist leaders. These are the only hope for Africa. Like, you know, as a matter of fact, what's happening? Like, you know, these are people who being funded by Egypt and these Arab countries, and you got all these pharmaceutical companies to sell, like, you know, to bomb all these cluster bomb and everything, my friend. So they use our people like this guinea pig, my friend. So they fund them. So these are dumb, nutty professor guys. Kind of, did you watch that nutty professor of you know, the comedian, American comedian? So these are nutty guys, like, so because they want to grab attention of the whole world media, they just kill people, like, you know. This is what makes them chieftains, stupid. They try to cling into us, young people. We haven't got nothing to do with theirs, you know. We are just leading our life properly, my friend. In Western society, highly educated, everything, well, very successful guys, like, you know. They try to cling into us, leech, proper leech, chieftain, leech. So this guy, this is a guy kind of like, you know, studied in Scotland, dwarf guy. So he went there, like, you know, they made him an ambassador in Brussels, in Holland. Okay, EU ambassador of Eritrea. So this guy, Emmanuel, I used to train him to study in Scotland University. Okay, using email. Is a namesake, a guy, brother of the guy who was the topic subject of my theme today. These people are really smart, right? So in science, in biology, the Europeans, they go what they call like this pedagogic charm. Okay? They don't give you blood. They don't give you their blood and their family history because they don't want you to study their genetic makeup. so that you don't corrupt them with cancer, all that kind of disease, or dwarf and like pygmy. Sorry, pygmy. I don't mean in negative. Okay, so this dwarfness, cancer, carrying limp, angule, all that kind of stuff, my friend. They don't give you that blood, my friend. Okay? That family history is kept locked only for the family members. They don't breed with you. They don't mix up with you. They don't marry you, woman or you men, in case you defile all their genetic material, my friend. It's called pedagogy. Okay? This is science. Okay, so this guy, Mr. Andemariam, was saying in literature they were implementing all this communist socialist, what was the term? Social scientific socialism. It's like this racist. It's like this scientific. What is this? It's proper all this evolution, all this mad guy. What's his name? Evolution theories. Charles Darwin. He was looking like this white ape, and he went to jungle, Amazon jungle, and maybe I don't know. He married some monkey there, like so he just came out with this theory. We are the people who have been evolved into the highest kind of intelligence, the accent of human being, all this biological theory of this evolution. Okay, so these people were implementing that evolution using social engineering, war after war, my friend. They sell all their names into these pharmaceutical companies. You go all these famous pharmaceutical companies because they want to sell all these anesthetics using all this poppy, all this poppy of this opium and everything for their whole, pharmaceutical companies, drugs, tablets, pills, the whole world to make billions of dollars of industry. They just pour all their experimental pills and gases and chemicals into us, my friend. That's why we got a lot of crippled people, my friend. A lot of autism, strained people, okay? So that's called scientific socialism. Can you believe it? So all of them are dwarf, and a lot of them are crab carrying all these lab strained people. So this ambassador was a really dwarf guy. Very dwarf. Can you believe it? So because we want to implement this scientific socialism, okay? We want to keep our pedagogy chart so that we don't mix up with these really dwarf people. It's a scientific socialism, isn't it? It's all right, isn't it? So this pedagogy chart, my friend, all these people are sick, some of them blind, okay, some of them crippled, most of them ugly, like in this ape. When I say ape, apes are very intelligent creatures, man. They are our brothers and sisters, right? What do they say? The biologists, the DNA engineers, they say like, my friend, we are 98%. Our DNA is the same. Our chromosome is the same. 98% of our DNA is the same, like this. Ape and chimpanzee, we are brothers. And they tell you that, my friend, we are from Africa. We came from ape and chimpanzee, baboons. So the baboons are really smart people, my friend, okay? But these people are really subhuman. They're not baboons, but they haven't made it, they haven't evolved, my friend. Okay? So these people, because in my family, we are extremely very handsome and very beautiful people, tall, slender, work of art like our village in the countryside. So we want to implement this pedagogy chart. We don't want to give our blood and our genetic makeup so that we don't mix with this really ugly people like limping, carrying all that limp, angole, and some of them blind, some of them dwarf, okay? It's called pedagogy chart. It's science, my friend, okay? You don't give it to other people. You don't give your blood to other people so that they don't analyze your DNA, my friend, so that you don't sell it to other people, so that you don't mix up with people who've got cancer genetic inheritance from all their ancestors. Okay, so this is a scientific, my friend. You got the right, okay? If you don't want to give your blood to these people called Martha and to this kind of this, what's his name? Hadgu. They are just all these biomedical blood sample workers. They look like this. Strange looking. All his Hadgu, his wife, and all of them. They look like. So you don't give your pedagogy chart to other people, my friend. It's your right. Science, isn't it? Ask all these English people. They don't want to give you their blood. That's their pedagogy chart, my friend. They don't want to mix up with people who've got DNA problems with cancer, disability, crippleness, limping, blind, autism. It's called pedagogy, okay? So Mr. Andemariam, this is called pedagogy chart. This is called scientific socialism. It's called hunting as well, my friends. Virtual hunting, intellectual hunting. Okay, so show it to this Tesfa Gabriel guy, or this Amanil, his brother, or this dwarf, the ambassador of EU, an EU ambassador who doesn't speak English, who studied in Scotland, Gaelic. So why do this, my friend? Make him wear some what's it called, kilt, and go to Scottish Highland, my friend. Okay, enjoy life there. Not in Eritrea. This is called hunting. The bomb, okay? Sometimes, like, when people, they try to take you as a fool, when you contribute a lot because you got a lot of energy and power and passion and love for you, people, they take it like they take a mick out of it, my friend. And this is how you teach them how to hunt. So them behaving, acting as if they are Masai Mara, kind of like this hunter with an arrow from the Serengeti Park in Kenya or Rwanda or Juba, Uganda. This is how we teach them, mama. You have a lovely day, guys. Okay, bye.